My neighbor kept her disgusting secret hidden from everyone, and the second I found it, I realized why. I exposed her immediately and couldn't sleep at night because of what I saw. Now, a year later, she's back at my doorstep begging me to clear her name. When I was organizing the neighborhood's trick-or-treating, I told all the parents their kids could wear whatever they wanted. Just make sure it's appropriate for walking long distances. I even sent some of those cute costumes from Pinterest for inspiration. It was going to be a blast, and I wanted all the kids to have this in their memories forever. There was just one mom who I was secretly hoping wouldn't come. Not because of her kid, she was lovely, but because of her. She was the type to yell at a waiter when they forgot to bring a straw, to care more about her looks than her own daughter. And whenever she was around, she'd give me beauty tips about how to starve myself so my husband likes me more. Or better yet, she'd loudly compare her designer handbag to whatever I was carrying, making sure everyone knew how much hers cost. So it was the night before trick-or-treating when I got the call. It was Susan. She told me her and her child wouldn't be attending because the route is too long for them. I told her that it was no problem and went into my notes app to delete her from the list. But right before I could hang up, she stopped me. Don't you think it was a little irresponsible of you to think that everyone could walk for such a long time? I thought she was pranking me, but her voice was cold and painfully condescending. It's only a quarter of a mile. Only, she interrupted. Just because you need to lose weight doesn't mean the rest of us do. I sighed and plastered on the usual HR voice I did whenever I talked to Susan. I guess we all have our preferences, I exclaimed before hanging up. Good riddance. So there I am on Halloween, doing a quick head count of the kids before leaving. And who pulls up on my driveway? None other than Susan herself. She was dressed in an extremely inappropriate maid costume, with a dress so low cut it could have passed for a long t-shirt. Meanwhile, her child, Susie, is hiding behind her legs and wearing a maid costume that looked just like hers, except the top was even tighter. I just stared at her, wondering what the F she was thinking. Hey, eyes up here, Susan yelled with a smirk on her face. Sorry, but some of us actually have curves to show, she added. That's when Susie beckoned her mom to bend down beside her, because she wanted to whisper in her ear. Mom, I don't feel comfortable, I heard her say. Susan whispered back, pain is beauty, and the sooner you learn that the better. Well, I wasn't going to just stand by and watch a mother do that to her daughter, so I grabbed one of my daughter Isabella's Halloween costumes from the year before and asked if she wanted it. Susan tried to intervene, but I looked her right in the eyes and told her that if she made her daughter uncomfortable in front of me again, I would cause a scene with all the other moms. That shut her up fast. The rest of the trick-or-treating went smoothly, except for Susan, who was lagging behind us at the very back. It was then that I realized why she had made her and her daughter both wear promiscuous little outfits. Because she was flirting with every dad she passed, regardless of whether they were with their wife and kids or not. But even worse, she joked about how Susie was even hotter than most of the moms here, to the grown men. At first I tried to wave it off as some dumb parent comment. That was until I noticed Susan and her daughter walking alongside a dad across the street from us. I know I should have just left her alone to live her life, but sometimes you just can't fight the mama bear instinct. And this situation was one of those times. Because while Susan was safe with the mom of her best friend, I walked across the street when they weren't paying attention and staggered a few feet away. Your son is the perfect match for my daughter, I heard Susan explain, while batting her eyes like they could help her fly away. I glanced over at the son. He was no younger than 11. Meanwhile, Susie was 5 years older. The whole thing made me sick, especially how naturally flirting seemed to come to Susie, who was directly mimicking her mother's actions, like she had done it dozens of times before. I dropped in a few comments joking about how Susan has a husband. She doesn't, until the dad got uncomfortable enough to walk away. And as a child carer, I deal with these types of parents on a daily basis. So that evening, after everyone went home, I confronted her, or rather, her daughter confronted me. Why did you do that? I almost had another boyfriend, she yelled. Another? I asked her what she was talking about, and that's when she said, Mommy told me my last boyfriend got divorced, so now I'm single again. The color drained from my face. How old was he? I asked, voice